How many of you really feel lethargic, tired after a day's work, or even when you wake up in the morning? Do you go through that agony of feeling tired without energy, like lying down a little more and spending a little more time on the bed instead of doing what you should be doing that day? If that is the case, then let's invite our special guest, the energy coach, Miss Vinaya. Vinaya had been in this for 2 decades and has experience in energy healing and breath activity. So let her reveal her knowledge through the questions that we have for her in this show. Welcome, Vinaya, and
thank you.
Let's get started.
So let me give you a little bit about an insight about what I do. And I am a breathwork and an energy coach. And in simple terms, what it means is that every individual is capable of using their innate potential through the power of breath and through the reflexology and a little bit of yoga. And these are ancient wisdom that we've been using for many years, but it's been forgotten. And my job and my passion in life today is to make sure that everybody knows about these. And I work with individuals and groups to make sure they have a plan of where do they want to go and how do they get there. So that's about me. Thank you, Geetha, for having me on the show.
Welcome, Vinaya. And because this is a new topic and not much people are aware of it, can you please guide us? Why do we need an energy coach in our life?
Sure. So having energy, after eating and after getting up in the morning, we all have that. When you get up in the morning, you feel, okay, I'm ready to face the day. And then somewhere through the day, because of certain things we're doing or maybe not doing, we realize that by the end of the afternoon or towards the evening, there is very little energy left to do what we really want to do after work and after studies. So my plan incorporates understanding how the person who I'm talking to uses their energy. That's one. And then finding out where they are losing energy. And third thing is to make sure that they know how to bring up their energy levels at all times.
Okay. Can you explain the concept of energy management and why it is so crucial in this point of time for achieving our best selves?
Sure. It is critical for every individual because right now there are a lot of reasons why energy is lost and people are not aware of it. It is only when you sit and take a hard look at your own schedules, what you're putting into your body. I'm not talking only about food, but also the electronic stimulus, the energy that is being taken away from you. All these things are things that people should be more aware of in order to reach their potential. People have a lot of thoughts that they want to do something. They also have the means, the education, everything to get there. But unless they manage their energy best, it's not going to happen.
Okay. So tell me, Vinaya, what are the key signs that someone may be experiencing an imbalance in their energy level? How can one recognize that, yes, I have some energy imbalances in my body, and how can they identify these signs in their own lives?
It requires a little bit of study. It requires also, maybe there are some changes from when they started a particular journey and then have changed. So observation, self-observation, and also making sure that, they see that there is a difference of reaching their goals and not being able to even sit to reach their, activities. And also there are certain signs which say that, why am I not able to do this? What is it that, is wrong with me in order to, it could also be medical. I mean, there is a point where I tell people that if what I'm giving you as a consultation is not working, go to the doctor and have a proper checkup. So that's, that's a more serious consequence of it. But at the same time, making sure that they are aware of their own actions, and if they are not getting the results of it, then what to do after that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So, from your experience, could you share some practical strategies or techniques for individuals to boost their energy when they are feeling drained or fatigued?
Sure. So, primarily, I would say that most people don't breathe deep enough.
Okay.
If they just sit with their eyes closed and observe how they're breathing normally, right? And they also, again, like observation is, how do you breathe when you're stressed?
Okay.
When you're going to do something big, the breathing becomes shallow, and therefore
Okay.
the body doesn't have enough to sustain for that activity that is coming up.
Okay.
And then there could be things like, not drinking enough water, not getting enough sleep. In this
Okay.
world of available 24/7 internet, people are very happy to just one more show, binge watching over the weekends. It has a tremendous impact on your body as well, and therefore your energy does not sustain.
Okay.
So these are a couple of things which, if people just observe, and it's not enough to say I'm doing it enough. There is a benchmark. So if an individual works with me and says, okay, this is what I do, I can gauge from that inputs that they've given me, saying that, is this up to the benchmark, closer to the benchmark? Most of the times it isn't. They're not drinking enough water, they're not sleeping enough, or if they are not sleeping, if they can't sleep enough, can they get a power nap? It can rev up your day for the rest of the hours that are in your day. But at the same time, then there's a major problem where it comes to relationships. Like, you've mentored so many people, you work with so many people. If they don't have the skills to communicate in relationships, that's a major energy drainer. And it adds to the stress, it takes away from the peace of mind, and then it affects all these things like sleep and energy. So these are some 4 or 5. There are many more, depends on the profile of the person who is talking to me.
Right. So you mean to say not just the physical plane, but your emotional mental state also affects your energy levels, and it can also drain you, right? So
Yes.
how does our mental and emotional well-being tie into our overall energy levels, and what can we do to maintain a very healthy mindset and have optimal energy?
Very, very nice question. I think that makes that bridge between physical and emotional and mental. It is often thought that they're two separate areas. Actually, it is one person. You are the same person who is experiencing the stress, and the same body is going to see the results of that. So on one hand, we can eat the best food, we can have the best sleep, we can do the best hydration, but if you can't have a conversation with the people in your family, then you're not going to be able to do anything for the rest of your day. So having that skill to face adverse situations, make sure that you don't have unnecessary stress, all these things add to the emotion, right? They bring down the emotional quotient. The intelligence of the body tells you something else on how to maintain it, but you don't have the means to do it. You need to reach out for help. There has to be a person or people in your, if it's not in your family, if it's not in your friends, then you have to reach out to professionals and say that this is how I feel. And fortunately, in this day and age, there is no shame in asking for help. It was a taboo, but now it is that if you reach out, you will make sure that it becomes a help for yourself, self-help.
Right.
And that is something that now it's become a accepted norm, that make sure that you take help when you need it. Okay. Yeah.
Still a taboo at some areas of India at least.
Yes.
But yes, the awareness is going up a little far. Yeah. So maybe people might open up to it. Coming to that, many people struggle to achieve a balance between the demands of their work, family, personal life, relationships, and everything. What advice can you provide for maintaining energy and focus in such a hectic lifestyle?
Hectic lifestyle is my main objection to people, because they tend to take on more than they can handle. But while it is something that people have to do, they can make themselves energetically more able to handle these things. Now, while commute is non-negotiable. If you have to go to work, you have to go to study, you can use that time. If you are not driving yourself, or even if you're driving, you can use that time to make sure that you use it for something pleasant. I mean, a lot of people have the best cars, the best, cab facilities, whatever it is, but they don't use the time to listen to some wonderful music. They will rather wonder and, think about the stress that lies ahead for them. So these are energy management techniques that help you to make yourself a little happier. And when you lighten the load, when you journal, when you write things at the end of the day that are troubling you, get it out of your mind. These are all things that help you to lighten the stress in your life. And these are not just done in the morning or the evening. These are things that are done through the day, so that they help you to boost yourself. If you treat the morning as a separate time and the afternoon as a separate time and the evening as a separate time, at the end of those times, if you find that, okay, I can do something now to boost my energy for the rest of the day, consciously, in the beginning, it takes some time, but once you start doing it consciously, it becomes a habit and you feel so much better at the end of it.
So what you mean to say is self-awareness and mindfulness plays a long and big play in maintaining your energy levels. Exactly. If you're mindful and if you are aware where you are draining and you need to recharge, you know how to recharge and reach out.
Yes.
So stress is a common energy draining factor in today's world, and more so in the digitally so vibrant world where we have multiple options and we are all creatures of instant gratification today. If somebody comes to you and tells you to give them an instant answer for energy boosting, is there an answer to it, Vinaya?
Absolutely. I do this with all the people I do sessions with, and they are amazed by the fact that it changes things a lot. So what you can do without anybody else present is you can just close your eyes and don't worry about how much time is going by, but just focus on what breath you take in and what breath you take out, send out of your body. And if you do even about 10 breaths of these with your eyes closed, it makes you a new person. And it empties your mind and it makes you completely silent. So that is something that I encourage a lot of students especially to do before they exam, before they start studying. It clears the mind of what's been there so far and makes them calm, and they actually feel that, okay, now I can tackle whatever it is that's in front of me. This is also for parents. This is not only for children, because the parents are also taking on additional worries about the children that they are looking after. But without anybody knowing, you can actually do this in a meeting. You can do this while you're traveling. You can also feel the pressure building when you are looking at something stressful. It brings it down immediately. So I recommend everybody does it all the time.
Okay. Now we are a generation wherein sleep deprivation is nothing new. It's a common fact. And every household sees someone who is sleep deprived. How important do you think is quality sleep in energy restoration? And what are some of the best practices and routines that you make or you ensure your mentees take their good night's sleep?
It's a very good question, because like I said, unless you sleep well at night, you're not even going to get up with your batteries charged, right? So sleep is very important for healing, for restoring the body to its optimum. All the curative and all the healing things happen in your body at night when you're asleep. It's maintenance that the body is doing. And if you don't get that 7 to 8 hours, some people say, oh, 6 hours is enough. Okay, fair enough, 6 hours. But that 6 hours should be good sleep. So to get that deep sleep, there are some things that you should do, stay away from. Let's do the do first. Okay. So the do's are: have a early meal so that there's a good gap, and put a room make your room a little cooler than your body temperature, because it helps you to fall into a deeper sleep. And the third thing is that all electronic devices should be away, because even if you are not looking at them directly, they are emitting rays that are damaging for you while you're sleeping. And then the don'ts are: don't look at blue screens, right? You stay away means really stay away. If you need to wake up in the morning to an alarm, get an alarm clock, right? Don't keep your screen there because you need it to wake you up. And another thing that is don't go to sleep with a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
Put it down on paper, write it out, say it out. Even if you don't want anybody to see it, if it's something that's troubling you, just write it out and tear it and throw it, so that you don't think that anybody's seen it, so you're not worried about that. And that if you do these 4 simple things, when you're going to sleep, do a little bit of deep breathing like I mentioned earlier, and you'll have wonderful deep sleep. And the next morning you feel, okay, my mind is now completely empty and healed of what I went through yesterday, so I can face today's challenges as well.
Okay. Coming to that, not just sleep, do you think nutrition also plays a significant role in energy management? What are some dietary choices or habits that you want your clients or people who are in dire need of energy should take care of?
Yes, food is a very critical part, because it keeps not only your energy levels, but it also keeps you happy. If you eat well, and if you feel that I've had a good meal, your mind is probably much more satisfied to move on to the next part of life. So I would say that naturally produced food, which means unprocessed, that is fruits and vegetables, things which are promoting the gut culture. Your stomach is a second brain. So if it's not feeling up to it, you're going to have problems with thinking as well. You're going to be uncomfortable. The second thing is water. A lot of water, a lot of liquids should go into the system, so that it gives that hydration which is required, because dehydration can give you physical problems as well. Okay. Right? And the third I would say is where they say, fat and low fat and no fat. I think going by what your parents and grandparents have been doing, good fats are required for the brain as well to develop and function well. So these are my 3 parameters for nutrition. And you can just follow your instinct. When you look at something, if it looks good, you want to eat it, it's fine. And then be active, do the exercise, keep your mind fresh, because you've eaten what you like, your mind is satisfied, you can go on to the next part of your life, right?
Okay. So you have beautifully told, it is not like cringing for something and denying yourself something. Have it, but at the same time do the next activity that requires the digestion of that food also.
Yes, right? Very much.
So that brings to the mind how important is physical activity in maintaining our energy levels with.
Well, if you don't move, you're going to be sitting and becoming a potato. Simple as that. So you get a lot of energy by moving, your blood circulation, your oxygen in your blood. These are the things that really make you feel energetic. So while it is not possible to be bouncing all the time, do bounce, because when you do have a movement up and down steps, or moving up and down, standing where you are, skipping, these are things that help the lymphatic system to remove the toxins, whatever may have got built up. And exercise outside, or just doing something that is fun. I know that you talk a lot to students, right? And they are like, oh my God, who's going to be doing calisthenics? So go play a game, find somebody to play with, bounce a ball, play some tennis. These are all parts of exercise which happens while you're having fun as well. So you're more likely to do it if you are having fun. And you also bond with your friends and maybe your parents as well. Why not? Your parents are also, were young ones. They also enjoyed life. So find out what they got a thrill out of and do that. And that really helps parents and children bond as well. You'll have a much better relationship. So my take on exercise is, I don't believe in the gym, but I believe in yoga, because it's much gentler. And it also suits all ages. And when I mentor people, I tell them to do the best of what they can, so that they feel more confident that they've been able to do something, even if it's not at the hectic level that other people are doing. A little slower, but it's okay.
Okay. Now, can you share finally some tips for setting and achieving personal goals that align with energy management techniques, allowing any individual to focus their energy to what truly matters to them?
Sure. So the first thing with energies and goals is that when you set a goal for yourself, whether it's professional, student, or personal, it gives you a target to put all your energies on. So having a clear goal, of course, we know about SMART goals, right? So those things, and if you don't know, then talk to you talk to your mentors and say, is this a good goal for me? Am I setting it early in my am I an overachiever or am I an underachiever? So you talk to, I mean, you're one of those people who will be able to tell them that you have so much potential, make it more, make it bigger, make it a larger goal. And once you've set the goals, it is a consistent effort of making sure that people have an action plan towards it. Because again, when you focus on particular, actions, it makes that goal closer. It comes closer to you. And once you start putting your focus on something, it starts happening. We've all seen that if I say I want to be stronger and I start doing things towards it, you will become stronger. That's a natural consequence of it. And there will be hurdles, and the hurdles are washed away when you say it's okay to fail and I'll do better next time. And you lose less energy when you say that to yourself than if you say, oh my God, I'm sunk. Here's the first obstacle and I can't even cross it. I failed it. If you say, no, this is fine, let me find another way of doing it, that saves you a lot of energy loss. In my experience, people bounce back much faster, and that's building resilience. So I feel that, having a goal, having the action plan, and doing these rituals for yourself through the day will keep you going. Even if you're up till 2 o'clock in the morning and you're energetic, it's still worth it because you're reaching your goals much faster. But don't do it every day, once in a while. The rest of the time you need to sleep. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would say.
So Vinaya, now coming to the next question that I have to ask you, or the audience wants to ask you, is, can you explain the principles and philosophy behind Reiki? And we would like also to know what is it and how is it practiced in or common life?
Sure. So Reiki is an energy healing modality which originated in Japan. And you will find parallels in the Indian healing as well. But primarily because I found it along with, when I came to Bangalore, when I settled down here, I was introduced to a teacher and I got into it. I can explain to you. It is channeling the universal energy in a more sustained manner to provide positive energy to the person who is receiving the healing. So in simple words, we are all made of universal energy. That's why we are all alive. There is already a channel of energy that keeps us functioning and in good health. However, when somebody is unwell or when they have something that needs healing, we can channel more as healers. We can channel more positive energy to provide it to them, and they will receive it as and when they need it to wherever they need to clear. So it uses the system of the 7 chakras and the many chakras that are there in the body that absorb positive energy from the universe to live. And we as healers provide positive energy for them to again absorb and heal themselves. It's an intelligent system. It doesn't need to be told, you heal my stomach or you heal my heart or you get rid of my headache. But it will take, the body takes and provides it to wherever this energy is required. So in simple terms, when you say that, I have a headache, right? So that means that something in your body is resisting. There is a lot of negative energy there, depending on the intensity of the headache also. It could be related to the eyes. It could be related to something which you've eaten, which has given you indigestion. It could be that there's lack of sleep, and migraines are a very advanced, consistent, persistent headache is there. So when we provide healing, the body takes it and clears that negative energy and makes you well again.
Okay. So I have a doubt. Yeah. Is it this energy healing? Does it have to be only offline, that is one-to-one in front of you sitting, or can it be done online as well?
It is Reiki especially, and other modalities also are mostly used remotely nowadays. So
Okay.
if you can understand that, when we have the wireless modems, right,
Mhm.
which give us this beautiful internet, you can
Right.
understand it like that itself, saying that one provider switches on his modem somewhere and we get internet over here. So the healers are radiating and providing that healing energy to anybody who requires it, anywhere in the universe, anywhere in
Okay.
the world. And they are sending the energy to them, and the other person is receiving it and using it to wherever they want themselves to be healed.
Okay.
So I could be sitting in front of you face to face,
Mhm.
and I could be providing healing, or I could be thinking of somebody, sending an intention. There are symbols that we use for remote healing, which builds a bridge there and provides the energy to them where they are sitting. So especially Reiki energy, which I'm a master in, right? I have people sitting in different continents. I have people sitting in different parts of the country.
Okay, that's great. So, because in this world now, everyone wants it at their comfort and at their comfortable place. So, this means that your energy healing or any form of energy healing can be done in the comfort of their home. Coming to this one, are there any stories or real life success testimonials or clients that you have experienced the positive outcome through Reiki and other forms of healing, and that you would like to share here?
Absolutely. I have countless, of course, anecdotes that I can share with you. But I have cured one lady who had a chronic smoking problem.
Okay.
Right, and she was not anywhere near me. I was in India and she was in Australia. And I have done guided meditation and Reiki for her in sessions. It took about 4 to 5 sessions for her to come to a stage where she said, okay, now I can handle it. But there was a time when she was going through my session, and she had also recently lost her husband of many years. So she was also under terrible grief. And she said, the only thing that helps me is smoking. But going through the meditation and the Reiki healings many times in the weeks that followed, when she contacted me, she also told me that I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more in control of my life and less grief. And I also have a dog here by my side who comes and sits with me whenever you start the session and sleeps through the session and gets up much better. And it used to snore. Her dog used to snore, and she used to tell me in the middle, it's not me, it's my dog. And I was amused as she was, but I was not surprised, because the healing aura that I was giving her, that I was providing her positive energy, her dog also understood that this is something that will help me, and would come and sit close to her and receive and take that. So it's an instance of multiple healing happening at the same time, right? So that was my most impactful one. I just pinged her after COVID, just to find out how she's doing. And she says, well, the dog has passed on, but I am in the best of health, and I'm feeling really wonderful with my life. I am so grateful to you. I said I contacted her for a testimonial, just so that I could see how she's doing so many years later. But it really gratified me that she's benefited so much and she's still okay.
Okay, that's a wonderful one. So, have you, Vinaya, ever encountered some misconceptions or myth or misunderstandings about the practice of energy healing with your audience or with your clients or sometimes by general public?
There are some, most of the times people are a little afraid of, what is this energy that you're going to do to me. It has been, people in India have heard mostly of black magic. So when they hear of, things like this, they think that something bad could also happen. And it takes a little talking. So I always talk to a patient or a family member to explain it to them. And then I say, take your time, come back. Don't say yes immediately. Come back, after thinking it through, read up on it. And usually what happens is, maybe about 30% of my patients with whom I have provided them healing and they've seen the transformation, have come back to me to learn and become healers themselves for their family. So that has helped me to, I have, I put some of my testimonials on social media as well, so that people can read it. And when you go to the description box, you'll find my LinkedIn profile, and you can go and see those testimonials for yourself on my profile. It tells you that very ordinary people have benefited so much from the way the breath work happens, or from the way the pranayam sessions, the Reiki sessions happen. And the thought process that I have is heal them and then enable them to do it themselves. That is my philosophy. So I have a lot of students as well. Another thing that they can't imagine, that has become better with wireless, they can't visualize this healing. So I also go through that explanation with them, saying how does it happen. And it's very nice to say that I'm a modem and providing you with positive energy, and then they understand, oh, this is as simple as that. So misconceptions I try to dispel in the beginning, but most of it is the experience that they have when they feel better, and also then they feel healthy, they see family members changing in front of them, and it helps them to then start believing it.
Okay, so coming to the end of the talk show, one last question, Vinaya, is why do you think and how can really people benefit from energy healing, and why should they go for it at the end of the day so that they have a much more fulfilling and healthier life?
Yes, I think that it's the birthright of everybody to reach their fullest potential. Nobody should be held back from what they're capable of because they ran out of juice. Okay, and it also makes I feel that I'm very privileged to be able to do this for any individual, as long as they come talk to me and say, I want to do my fullest potential, I want to reach my goals very easily in life. And when they sit with me and they realize where the small changes are and start implementing, it makes me very happy to see that they are now suddenly juiced up and they are powerful enough to go through the day, end it on a very good note. And I think everybody should use that to their benefit.
Okay. So we had a wonderful talk show with you. And I am so blessed that you are my mentor too. And to have you on my show was a blessing. It had been an awakening session because many of us out there are not aware what energy healing is and how it works and how it can improve your life. So I think our talk might have given some insight, as we intended to provide them the light of how energy works and what is energy work and how we can do it, how we can get it done. So I think most of the answers might have been answered. If still the audience has any questions, queries, or doubts, please feel free to go down, check our description box, because all the connecting links to me or to Vinaya or anyone, anything you need is in the box. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ask anything that is on your mind. We both are open to queries and we both welcome queries with open arms. So please go check the description box. Thank you, Vinaya, for being on this show and being with me and providing the beautiful time that we had. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's been wonderful reconnecting with you. And I'm sure we'll be working together in future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.